you tell us a little bit about the difference between stage and film?
Well, the difference between stage and film is really, I can approach this from like kind of an artistic point of view. A lot of the differences in the way that you have to act. For example, when you're on stage, you have to be bigger in your performances. Really, you really want to make sure. Palmer, especially, the acoustics in here are crazy. So you want to make sure that your voice will carry and that your expressions are very readable. So it really doesn't leave a lot of room for like minute movements of the face. But when you've got a camera, a lot more things are possible when it comes to being up close. You can be softer with your voice. You can have more realistic small movements. It's really the difference between how readable you are. Because also, if you go into film and you carry through with your like theater background, like if you're being filmed and you're doing all this like that's not going to read well on the camera. So it's really having to balance the difference between like how hard you have to go to make your performance believable in two very different ways.
How do you think that seeing the shows virtually will compare to a normal year in Palmer?
I think that there's going to be, College Night, you know, is based on traditions, and new traditions come every year. And it is sad to like not get to be together in the space. Like there's always like this really fun energy of watching the alumni like cheer from the balcony, and like you're with Saturday night especially, you're with like the most passionate people, because if you're not passionate about College Night, you're not going to show up on Saturday. Everyone knows that's like the craziest day. So definitely it's going to be sad to not be around everyone and share that kind of energy with each other. But I do really like the idea of the film. I like the fact that it's very accessible for people who can't make it down here every year. We do the live stream usually, but as someone who has had to watch the live stream before in past years, it's really good for what it is, but it's not like a film. It's not like being here. And I really think the film is a good halfway point between the live stream and being here in person. I also think that it's going to be really fun to get to watch it with the people who are in it. Something that we always like, something that a lot of people on cast, and we have run crew back here, we have people in the flies, we have people in the light booth who are like so focused on their job they can't watch the show. It's going to be really exciting this year to get to watch the show with those people and to see how excited they are to finally get to see something that they worked on so hard. So I'm really excited for that.
Since everyone will be wearing a mask this year in the show, how do you feel like that impacts the way that actors have to perform, etc.?
Well, I think that there are multiple different aspects to this. First of all, face-wise, you only see this much of somebody's face. And anyone who acts tells you that it's a full facial job. Even when you're just talking to your friends, you do a lot with your cheeks and your mouth and stuff like that. But I think that this is a really interesting acting challenge for a lot of these people who are in the show, because you have to convey a lot of different emotions, and you have your eyebrows and you have your eyes. Those do play a lot of roles, and I think it must have been a really fun time for the actors to get to play with expressions in that way, to try to sell it with just the eyes and the eyebrows. Also, something that is really important to think about with masks is singing in them and speaking in them. We've had professors in the theater department talk about the struggle of basically having to shout through a mask every day. And when you have that plus projection with acting, it gets really exhausting and you get really thirsty. So I can imagine that that was probably a struggle for a lot of them, as well as singing in one of these. We're using K95s because they're not directly on your mouth like these cloth ones are. And that helps with diction and that helps with pronunciation, but it's still really exhausting. So I just think that's very commendable for everyone on the stage to be able to act and to be able to do such a good job with the masks on. I just think that's really awesome.